Okay.
All right, welcome to my gallery. This is a 1960 reissue Les Paul. This is a replica. It's not an original, but if it were original, it would be worth thousands and thousands of dollars. But this is as good as it gets. It's the 1960s reissue. And the finish is called Honeyburst. This over here is what I think to be the coolest looking guitar in the world, the Fender Jazzmaster. Show me another guitar that looks as cool as this, and we'll have a conversation. This is the guitar, not exact guitar I played, but this is a 1960s reissue, and I played a guitar just like this. It was made in 1963 by Fender. I played it all throughout high school, Fender Jazzmaster. This is a Fender Telecaster. This is an American-made Telecaster. It's kind of got a rare finish because you can see the wood grain coming through. And this is American-made, so it's got all the best hardware on it. And of course, this guitar is used very much in country music, but also Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones used it. This is the guitar that did the lead on Stairway to Heaven. Everybody thinks it was done with a Les Paul. It wasn't. It was done with a Fender Telecaster. This is a 12-string guitar. It's got kind of a cool finish. And I want to point out it's a Takamine. That's what the T stands for. Or I believe this one has the full name on it. Takamine. You're going to see several Takamines in this gallery. Takamine is probably the best dollar for dollar guitar in the world. You can spend $2,600 on this Taylor over here, or you can spend $600 on this Takamine and basically come out with the same guitar. Choice is yours. Takamine makes a great guitar. They're in Japan. They've been making guitars since I think the early 1970s, and Bruce Springsteen plays a Takamine. This is the ES-335. This guitar is the most versatile guitar in the world. Blues players, rock players, jazz players, even a guy in a polka band would be using this. If you're looking for one guitar to do any kind of style of music, this is the guitar you want. ES-335. It's been around forever. This is a reissue. If you've got one from these from the 50s or the 40s, it's worth a fortune. Even today, if you buy this thing new, it's amazing. The ES-335. I already pulled this Takamine out, but I want to talk about it because this is an incredible guitar. This is a concert-sized guitar, so it's a little bit smaller. It's what guys like Dylan used to use when they first started out. The thing I want to point out with this guitar is when you've got a double back on a guitar, that gives you more warmth, more sound, more bass. This has a three-sided back, which you only find on rare guitars, and it has a flame maple back running down the middle. This is an incredible guitar for the money. Incredible. Another Takamine. This is the top of the line of Fender guitars. This is a Fender Jaguar. This is Emily's favorite guitar here. Fender Jaguar. When you open the catalog up in the 60s, this was the first guitar that you saw. Everybody loved this guitar, but the guys in the band and everybody that we played with, the bands in the area, nobody could afford this guitar, so we all played Jazzmasters and Stratocasters. So I always told myself, one day I'm going to own a Fender Jaguar. And this is called coral blue finish with a turquoise pickguard. It's just one of the coolest guitars in the world. This is an Ovation. My Ovation, when they first came out in the 70s, I scoffed at Ovation. I said, I'm not buying a guitar that has plastic on the back. This is actually the material they use to make the rotor blades on a helicopter. This is solid spruce here. So what you've got here is a guitar that never goes out of tune. This is a guitar I used at Heaven City for 10 years, and I would bring it out when it was 20 below. I'd bring it out when it was 95 degrees, and it never ever went out of tune. This is a guitar I also used on the CDs that we played, that we made for Haunted by the Waters when we played at Heaven City. Same guitar. It was a great guitar in the studio. It just really mics up really nice. The Ovation. They went out of business for a little while, and then somebody bought them, and now they're back in business, so it's cool. This is a Taylor 414. Taylor is probably, and I'm saying this, I would say this standing in front of the Martin factory in Kentucky, or wherever they're located, Pennsylvania. I would stand in front of the Martin factory and say, this is probably the best American mass-produced guitar there is. Bob Taylor started selling them out of his trunk back in the 70s, and he just handed them to the right people, and they just caught on, and the rest is history. A Taylor guitar is really, really something to have in your collection. It's just a gem. This thing is so true. It's got a smaller body, but it's got this wider waist, so it gives you a much fuller sound than you get from any other guitar its size. I won't take this one down, but of course that's a Stratocaster, and that's a 1975 reissue. You can tell it's a 75 because it has a larger headstock, which is being shown right now. Larger headstock on it always indicates it's 75. And if you look on the back, you have 3 bolts holding the neck on rather than 4, and that will tell you that it's a 75, that it was made in the 70s.
Well, that didn't come out.
Yeah. But I won't take it off. I can show you here if it squeeze in. It's a 75 reissue. It's made the specs that were in 75. Larger headstock, and then 3 bolts rather than 4 to hold the neck. And maple neck. If you haven't played a maple neck, you owe it to yourself before you die to play a maple neck. I played this in Urban Frenzy. I Stratocaster with a maple neck in Urban Frenzy for 8 years and loved it. Put that back up there. All right, we're moving over to here. This is a jumbo. It's a Takamine and it's a jumbo, and it's self-explanatory why it's called a jumbo. It's got a beautiful bass sound on it, beautiful feel. It's just an exquisite guitar. Check out the finish on this. I'll show you the back. This has a 2-sided back, so you can see running down the middle. They match they book match the wood together, so that's how it looks perfectly like that. The other thing I should mention is Takamine has the best electronics of any guitar manufacturer in the world. People will buy a Takamine guitar, take out the electronics, and put it in a Taylor guitar, so they've got the best of all worlds. But this has a tuner built in, 3-band equalizer, and these come with just about every Takamine guitar. Okay, we got a few more to go here. This is my Takamine Dreadnought, and this is an EF360. This top is solid spruce, and it is baked very delicately so that they age it about 20 years. It looks like this guitar is 20 years old. It sounds like it's 20 years old. And Takamine is the only one to do that. They're the only one to have a split bridge, as you can see it right here. It's split because that gives you perfect intonation. They're the only ones that figured that out. This is one hell of a guitar. The electronics again, it's just beautiful. It sounds beautiful, and this aging process that they do on the spruce is just amazing. It has its own stand. That's how much I think of it. Okay, this one here, of course, is my D35 Martin. I bought this in 1994, And I always wanted a Martin guitar, so should I get a D28 or a D35? I got a D35 because it has three-piece back on it. It gives you a little bit fuller sound. But I've played this guitar everywhere, and you can see it's kind of a lot of pick-worn damage on it. I dropped some things on it when I was playing out. But I played this guitar everywhere. I've written a lot of songs on this guitar, and it's a Martin. What can you say? Martins play like a truck, or that's at least their reputation, whereas Takaminis play like silk. That's my tour.
I think that is your tour.
That's my tour. I want to thank you for joining me here in the Urban Guitar Gallery. Keep on picking.